Well, I was just getting ready for work, and the power went out 20 minutes ago. So I can't go to work because the power's out. Entire southern Utah. I was hoping it was just right here in this area, but it's the entire southern Utah's out. And I heard parts of Mesquite, or maybe all of Mesquite's out. I'm not sure. But according to the power outage map, it does show that Dixie Power customers in Mesquite are affected. In St. George, we have two power companies. We have Dixie Power and Rocky Mountain Power, but both power companies here are affected. So the entire place is out. Hurricane, Washington County, everything in Washington County, no power at all. I'm hoping the power comes on soon, but I'm not going to, I don't know what. I'm just like, I'm really very stressed out about it because it's hot and the house is heating up fast, even after 20 minutes, I wish we had the air conditioning running a little bit longer. I just, I got ready. Was doing my hair, I put the hairdryer down and then it was like the power went out. And just, oh, because your hairdryer is like, it wasn't the hairdryer. The entire city went out. So, it's like, and so now I can't go to work because every restaurant in town is having to close because, that means, they can't operate without power. Every store is going to have to close. They can't, no gas station can dispense gas. Luckily, I just filled up the car yesterday. We're going to Vegas tomorrow. So, Vegas is not out to my knowledge. So I'll find out, make sure Vegas is not out, I feared about this. I asked my mom, so let's buy a Generac. And, because there could be a power outage and you don't want to be without power in this hot, wasteland that we live in, honestly. Basically, you couldn't live here without air conditioning. And so, without air conditioning, we're dead, basically, unless we leave somewhere else where it's not hot. And you better have gas to get there. So this car is luckily economical. It can go 500 miles on a tank. With the battery on there and it's charged. So thank God on that. But still, even without that, the battery only lasts 30 miles and then it has to go on gas. It's really not 500, maybe 400 miles. I think about 400 miles on the car. But I get 400 miles away. I'll go north. Where it's cool. Even if the power's out, at least we won't roast to death here. I hope they get the power on because I heard they did have, in Indiana has a power outage that's lasted 3 weeks. If that happened here in St. George, or Las Vegas, or Phoenix, power goes out for 3 weeks. It's a mass casualty event. So at least the cell phone's working. I'm getting self-service. That's good. But it's not. And the internet's working on the phone, but it's not working here because we don't have. It's not. It's covered by the tower that comes through the wall, so there's no internet in the house. But luckily, my phone works with the internet. I have several spare power banks available to me, and flashlights and everything like that. So it's just a little stressful not to have power. It's only been 20 minutes. I'm already panicking. Because I see, that's not covered on the news, and I think it's because, the area that's affected by that power blackout is primarily African American, and it's a racist policy by the government not to declare it a national or a disaster area. The power goes out. That is a disaster. We have to have power, man. You can't live without power in this country anymore. You used to be able to, but we didn't live here in the hot desert, and also. People, didn't have their whole infrastructure, everything built on power. Before there was power. It's a necessity. Without that necessity, it's like not having water or food. We depend so heavily on power. It's a complete necessity, and I'm really surprised. I'm not shocked actually. I'm not surprised that it hasn't been covered in the media very much. As far as the power outage in Indiana, because. Of the racist, government we have in charge right now. It's a really sad state of affairs in America. I'm just really appalled, absolutely appalled by how our government's acting and behaving. It's absolutely despicable. And, but, now it's affecting me, and now I'm scared. I'm here without power. I'm scared.